Italy has declared a state of emergency as millions grapple with the worst drought in the country in 70 years. Water levels have dropped to record lows in lakes and rivers in the north of the country, and residents in some areas are now facing restrictions on how much water they can use.
A cry for help in the midst of an early heat wave and no sign of rain. Italy is facing its worst drought in decades. The government has announced funds of over 35 million euros to address water shortages and a state of emergency that makes it easier to access them. The emergency also allows authorities to declare water rationing. Residents in Verona will face fines of up to 500 euros for violating restrictions on the use of drinking water. Many here, though, see why this is necessary. It's a good idea to save everywhere, save water, gas and electricity.
We are trying to get our children to pay attention to the importance of saving water. It's their future, and we must engage with this.
Other cities are set to turn off their water fountains. The drought has hit the agricultural Po Valley the hardest, with water levels dropping 85% below normal. Agriculture experts say the drought threatens a third of national food production. It's not just the crops that are suffering. The heat is affecting animals too.
We have a ventilation system for the cows to help them cope better with the temperatures.
For this artist, the barren fields provided an opportunity to deliver an important message. One that the government as well as the people of Italy seem to be heeding.
Okay, let's pull in the meteorologist now, Alexander De May. He joins me from northern Italy. Alexander, it's good to have you with us. Do you see any relief in the forecast, especially for these parts of Italy that are coping with this horrific drought?
I'm afraid not, because the amount of rain since December 2021 until now has been the lowest in the last 15 years, with the month of March the worst. It has rained a bit since June, but this hasn't really had an impact on the drought. Also, May and June have been warmer than normal, and I think that it won't probably rain in the next 14 days, so the situation will only get worse.
I mean, we hear descriptions of the drought of the century, flood of the century. Is this a 500-year drought that Italy is now experiencing? Is that one way to characterize it?
It's really dramatic and alarming at the moment. The result of the shortage of rain is that the accumulated volume of water in the big lakes like Lake Maggiore and Lake Como is less than 50%. When compared to the average of the last 15 years. Moreover, the snowfall has also been the lowest recorded in the last 15 years, impacting the volume of the ice in glaciers. And therefore, the glaciers will become smaller and smaller, and some of the smaller glaciers might disappear completely. As we have heard earlier, the drought will impact the overall food production with the result that food prices will rise. Then the production of electricity by hydroelectric power plants is down by about 50% due to the shortage of water. Also scary is, for instance, the salty Adriatic Sea has entered a record of 30 kilometers, which is about 19 miles, into the Po River. The sea is raising the salinity of the region's main irrigation source. And many towns, as we also have heard just before, are already rationing water for civil uses and supplying drinking water by cistern trucks.
Well, Alexander, if this is a long-term situation that Italians are faced with, are there any long-term solutions? What I hear you saying is that the future of agriculture in northern Italy could be in doubt if this continues.
Yeah, and I think not only Italy, but as we have also heard just before, is that indeed that the Italian state, declared the state of emergency in the regions in northern Italy, which will go until the end of this year. And this means that the regions will get extra funds to help the hard-hit communities in need and to keep the infrastructures efficient and safe. And long-term solutions could be, for instance, changing our habits in using energy, produce more renewable energy, such as solar and wind parks. And we should reduce air pollution by lowering traffic and reducing industrial production. If this is enough, current data show that our pace of changing is not enough and that we will not meet the COP21 Paris Agreement of limiting the temperature increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
So we are likely to experience more serious weather-related problems in the near future, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's a sobering assessment, unfortunately. Alexander de May, meteorologist, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.
My pleasure.